Hi there. This is a short Qigong flow designed to lift your mood. So get started by putting a little smile on your face and just see how that affects your overall mood. Keep that little smile on your face as you find a stance that's a little bit wider than hips distance apart. Bring your hands to your low belly. Let your elbows kind of open out to the sides. You can close the eyes or simply look down. Let's take a couple deep breaths. So take a deep inhale through the nose. And then sigh out the mouth as you exhale. Another deep breath in. And exhale. And one more. Deep inhale. Big smile on the face. Long, slow exhale with a sigh. Good. Take a moment just to stand. Feel your feet on the mat or on the floor. It's always best to practice barefoot if you can, but if not, just simply absorb your attention in anything you can feel in the soles of the feet. We're going to start with some body knocking or tapping. That's a good way to break up negative or stagnant energy in the body. So we're going to start right in the center of the chest. So take the tips of the fingers and kind of aim them in towards your sternum, right at the heart center, and just lightly tap right there at the heart center. Tap, 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 tap. And as you're tapping, inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So you can exhale with a sigh again, or if you like, you can practice a little gentler version of that exhale, that purging breath, by making a little circle with the lips so that as you exhale, it feels like you're blowing through a straw. So you can try that. And then we're actually going to take the knuckles and knock up just a little bit higher. So you can tap both hands at the same time, or if you want to do like a little Tarzan tap, like one hand at a time, you can do that. You can probably hear my voice vibrating a little as I tap. So kind of fun. And then I'm going to take my left arm out to the side and kind of tap right at the shoulder's nest. So there's a little soft spot right there. Just kind of close to the armpit, but not quite. So tapping there. And then we're just going to kind of cup the hands a little bit, slap down the inside of the arm, and then flip the arm over, tap up the outside and back to the shoulder. And then we'll go down the inside of the arm again and back up to the shoulder. And then we'll just do that one more time. So this is working with the lung meridians. The lungs can hold sadness and grief, so we're just going to break up anything there. And we'll come back across. And then take the right arm out to the side, a little knocking right there at the shoulder's nest. Just nice and light, kind of knocking into the muscles there. There's a lot of muscles that attach to the shoulder joint. And then we'll cup the hands and kind of tap or slap down the inside and up the outside. We'll just do that 2 more times, slapping, tapping. One more time, down the arm and up. Make sure you're still using that purging breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And then we're just going to come right back across to the chest again, and maybe just some taps with the pads of the fingers there. And then I'm going to raise my left arm and tap kind of from my armpit all the way down to my hip. And just do that a couple times, tapping down the sides of the body. Good. And then switch sides, tapping down the right side. So we're just working with energy channels here, meridians, or nadis, as the yogis call them. Good. And then we're going to come around to where the kidneys are, just like right here in the low back. I'm going to make an OK sign with my hands and just kind of tap, 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 right there where the kidneys are. So again, you can do both hands at the same time, or if you're a little more coordinated, you can do kind of opposite tapping with the hands. It doesn't really matter. So just kind of tapping there in the area of the kidneys, the muscles of the low back, and kind of right around the SI joint. So all of that's good stuff. Good. And then we're just going to slap down the outsides of the legs all the way down to the feet. Go around the tops of the feet and then up the insides of the legs, right to the hip flexors, and then we'll start again. Down the outsides of the legs, across the feet, and up the insides. One more time. Down. And back up. And then we're just going to stay right here at the hip flexors. You can make light fists if you want and just kind of knock there on the hip flexors. This is an area where a lot of energy can get stuck. If you think about the way we sit, that area is compressed quite a lot. So just knocking there around the hip flexors. And then if you want, you can kind of knock at the hip flexors, bend the knees, and kind of slap just kind of on the insides of the thighs. So knock, slap, knock, slap. Find a little rhythm. So just a little body drumming. Still using that purging breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Good. And then to end, we're just going to slap down the backs of the legs. So kind of starting, you can start at the glutes or a little bit below, and just kind of slap down the backs of the legs. And we'll do that about 3 times. Good. And then you can just kind of hang here for a moment. Just let your arms hang, let your body sway. Maybe find a little wave-like movement in your spine as you shift your weight side to side. You might think about you can paint the floor with your fingertips, maybe making a little figure 8 there. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, just roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. And then roll your shoulders back. So a lot of times when we find ourselves in a less than desirable mood, we also find that we have a lot of tension in our neck and in our shoulders. So just kind of rolling the shoulders around. And then we're going to think about kind of moving energy up from the feet through the body. So we're going to do a little exercise called the pump. So we're going to inhale and bring the hands kind of like right in front of the shoulders or right in front of the upper part of the chest. And then as you exhale, let the arms swing out and down, and then inhale back up. So it's exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. And you might notice there's kind of a little double bounce in my knees as I swing back. That feels good to me. If it doesn't feel good to you, you don't have to do it. So just a little pumping action here, pumping up some grounding energy, some nourishing energy. Good. Couple more. Let's do one more. And then we're just going to pause right here. Kind of hands right in front of the lungs. You can hold the hands still, or if you like, you can try like moving the hands farther away and closer to the body. Just noticing whether you can feel any sensation there, any sense of energy exchange. So maybe as you inhale, the hands move toward your body. And as you exhale, they sort of float away. Good. Let's sweep the arms out and up. Bring them overhead. Interlace your fingers. And then turn your palms up toward the ceiling. I'm going to separate my feet a little bit wider apart. And then bend the knees, sink the hips down, but keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. And then exhale, side bend to the right. You might look up to the left. And then inhale back to center. And exhale to the other side. Good. On the inhale, come up, straighten the legs, reach up nice and tall, and then exhale, let the arms float back down. Let's do that one more time. So inhale, arms out and up. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms toward the ceiling, reach up nice and tall, and then bend your knees, sink the hips down. As you exhale, side bend to the right, and then this time, if you want, kind of do a little half circle around. So bringing the body sort of parallel to the floor, and then inhaling back to center. And then exhale as you side bend to the left, and if you want, a little half circle around to the right. And then inhale, reach up. Good. Separate the hands. And then exhale, dive forward. Nice and slow, bend the knees. You can let the arms come up overhead. And then inhale, rise up, sort of open the arms. Nice and soft. Exhale, back down. Inhale up. We're going to do this one more time. And exhale down. And then just kind of make your way back up into a standing position. Take a moment just to stand and breathe. And then we're going to start to shake a little. So maybe bounce in your knees. Shaking is a fantastic way to break up kind of a cycle of stress. So you can just bounce in the knees, or you might lift the heels a little bit. You'll feel a little rebounding effect there. You might bounce slowly or quickly. So just find a way of bouncing that feels good to you. If you like, you can kind of shake the wrists. Using that purging breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Maybe you turn side to side as you're bouncing. You can just let the arms sort of flop around a little if you want. Or maybe you keep them active and kind of shake. Arms overhead. Arms forward, arms behind you. Maybe you kind of balance on one foot and shake one leg, and then shake the other leg. Just kind of getting all that negative energy, all that stagnant energy out of the body. You can be a little silly with it if you want, just kind of shaking around. And then come back into your soft stance here, feet a little wider than hips, knees soft, hips soft, shoulders relaxed. Deep breath. Go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. We'll start to do some hip circles. So, circling the hips all the way around. Your circles might be big or small, but just make sure that it's actually the hips that are circling. Sometimes I see hips locked down and upper body swirling around. That's not what we want. We actually want to work into the hip sockets. So kind of feel into your comfortable range of motion there in the hip sockets. And then kind of reverse directions, go the other way. Sometimes when we go the other way, it feels weird. That's okay. Embrace the weirdness. So you might be feeling sensations in the hip sockets, or maybe in the low back, maybe in the hip flexors. So just notice what you feel and where you feel it. And then come back to center, and we'll just do some hip hinges. So hips forward and back. And that's where I start to feel some different sensations. So as the hips come forward, I get a stretch in my hip flexors. As I go back, I feel it more in my hamstrings. And depending on how low my chest drops, I might even feel a little bit of a calf stretch. Good. So let's come back into some stillness here. We're going to give the lower body a rest. We're going to do some spiraling movements with the arms. So bring your upper arms by your sides, bend your elbows, palms are going to face up. And then we're going to spiral the hands in and up and around. So notice my palms are facing up the whole time. So you might imagine that you're holding teacups in your hand, and you're just kind of making these spiral movements with the arms. Don't think too much about it. I find usually if I think about it too much, I kind of lose the flow of it. So just kind of enjoy the movement of the arms. Your hands won't stay perfectly flat the whole time, that's fine. But we do want to do our best to keep the palms oriented toward the sky. If you want to try going the other way, you can. It's kind of fun sometimes. There's always like the weird way and then the natural way. So now I'm getting all confused. Good. So now let's let the arms float down by our sides. We're going to bring the backs of the hands together right up through the center of the body. Reach up and then exhale, arms out and down. Bend your knees as you come down. Inhale, arms come up through the center of the body, and exhale out and down. Inhale and exhale. So this one's called fireworks. So if you like, you can imagine sort of taking anything that might be contributing to your bad mood and letting it just kind of flow up and explode. Good. So kind of sweeping out that bubble of energy that we have around us. Let's do one more. All the way up and out and down. Good. We're going to take a slightly different stance now. So I'm going to turn. My left toes are pointed forward, my left leg's forward, my right leg's back. It's got a little bit of a angle to the foot. So it's going to look like Warrior One when we bend our knees and then straighten. And then the arm movement is hands right at heart level, palms face up. And then we're going to exhale, bend the front knee, reach forward. And then inhale, swim the arms back around. You're going to bend that back leg a little bit. And then spiral the arms in. Exhale, reach forward. And inhale back. Good. So that's the movement. Once you get the hang of it, just find a rhythm, find a flow that works for you. So those spiraling movements help move energy through the body. So spiraling the arms here, but the legs are grounded. The legs are strong and stable. Good. We're going to do one more like this, reaching forward, pulling back, and then we're going to switch. So the backs of the hands, the backs of the arms come together, and then we inhale and pull in. So exhale, arms come forward, inhale, pull in. Finding that flow. Pulling in whatever you need to improve your day. Good. One more just like this. Pull the hands to the heart and then flip the feet. So now the right leg becomes the front leg. We're going to exhale, push the hands forward, palms up. Inhale, swim the arms back, spiral, and then exhale, push forward. Inhale back, spiral, exhale, push. Good. Find your flow. Coordinating movement with breath. Last one like this. We're going to swim the hands around and then reverse. So exhale, backs of the arms come in, and then inhale, pull the palms to the heart as you lean back. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Again, if you want to do the advanced version of this, smile. To me, it feels a little bit like I'm dancing. Let's do one more. Exhale, arms come forward, lean forward, and then inhale, draw the hands back, and then we'll turn to face forward. Good. Find your comfortable stance again. We're just going to end with some centering. So close the eyes down, bring your awareness to the soles of the feet, relax the shoulders, soften the knees, soften the hip joints. And then on an inhale, sweep the right arm out and up, and then sort of make a blade with your right hand and bring it right down through the center of the body. And then the right hand rests right about at the hip point with the palm up. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. And exhale, drawing a line right down through the center of the body. Keep the knees soft, keep the hips soft. We're going side to side. Exhale, draw that hand down. Inhale, Exhale straight down through center. We're going to do one more to each side. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. And then go ahead and kind of cross the webs of the thumbs. Place one hand on top of the other. Both hands on the belly. Step the feet together. And then just kind of let your body rock and sway. Feel your weight shifting around in the soles of the feet. And then find some stillness. Take a deep breath in. And a long, slow exhale. Bring your hands to heart center. Bring a smile to your face. Thank you for practicing.